Guys, check this out. An Xbox 360 console. Great game on this platform. And then we got Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then I stumbled upon this Time Lord game for $8. And what's up, everyone? It's Austin, and we are back with another episode of my $10 Nintendo Collection series. In last week's episode, we scored huge on a ton of items, and we actually found our last Fire Emblem game, marking off the last game on our list and completing that. It's been such an amazing journey going through and finding 3 video games from these top Nintendo franchises. To start off this episode though, I thought it would be fun to just answer some questions and talk about some comments that some of you guys have left on my videos. So for the first question, I remember someone asking about promoted listings on eBay, and actually saw that I did promote some of my listings on eBay when it came to the breakdown of the sales. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to how promotions work on eBay, but from my understanding, I just set a percentage of how much the fees will be when it does sell, and depending on how much the percentage is how much more it will be promoted or pushed up in the search listings of items that people search for. For example, on all the listings that I do put promotions for, I always set it to 2%, which isn't really too much when it comes to fees. I don't put promotions on specific items like games that I know will sell very quick. So if I had a copy of Mario Kart, I know that's gonna sell really quick, so there really wouldn't be any point of putting a promotion on there. But for items that are very obscure, it might be a good reason to put a promotion on, because a lot of people might not be able to find it in searches. And then maybe for items that have a lot of other listings that are really similar to it, so it might be a little harder to find your specific listing. So by putting a promotion, it might push it up to the top. So shoes would be a pretty good item to put a promotion on, because nobody's really looking or searching up exact item SKU numbers for these shoes. They might just be entering New Balance, and that's a very broad search. So by putting promotions, you're hoping that, you know, your item is pushed up on the search results. A fun question that someone asked is, what do I personally do with the games that I complete and finish? Do I sell them? Do I just keep them? Do I throw them away? When it comes to playing and completing video games, I really have to be engaged and really enjoying the game to have completed it. So when I'm playing a game and I'm just not having fun with it, I typically don't finish it. I don't have a lot of time to play video games, and I would rather allocate my time playing something that I'm actually having fun with. If I play a game completed, that means I must have really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. So in that case, I typically just keep the games in my collection, because it's something for me to look at and remind myself of the great times and memories I had playing that game. Back to this collection though, excited to go back out and do some more game hunting for this week. Let's go over our sales that we got so far. Back here at the game showcase, and we got a quick and random sale. Sold a game down here, and it's gonna be Tropico 4 Gold Edition on the Xbox 360. We just sold this one for $13.50, and actually got this one for free at a GameStop, so I guess I'd say that's worth it. We got 2 more sales, and it's gonna be 2 games. The first one is right here, this Dragon Ball Z Budokai Greatest Hits, missing a manual, and it's sold for around $14. The second game we got is right here, this NES Super Mario Bros. 3 game that sold for $17.50. Already had a copy in our collection, so it was okay to flip this one. Gonna get these 2 packaged and shipped after eBay fees and shipping. This is how much we'll get to add back to the game fund. This week we're checking out a St. Vincent de Paul store, and up front of the glass cases got some interesting items up here. This Dumbo flying elephant, not sure what that is. Over here you got this Sonic plush just sitting over here. This looks kind of old and vintage. They got this for $10. Holy cow. It says Sonic Underground and sponsored by Denny's or something. Wow, that is crazy. Not sure what this thing is right there, but over here we got some video games. A ton of them actually in this case. Some PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, a couple Xbox 360 games. Nothing really there for the Wii section though, and we got some Blu-rays along with a Nintendo Wii console for $25-ish. Wonder if that has the cords, because that'll definitely be worth it for $25. And then we also got this electronic gaming magazine. Pretty cool. Haven't seen that before. But from looking at the games, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Definitely have to check out the prices first. If we can get some of these PlayStation 4 games for cheap, that might be worth picking up while we're here. Made my way to the electronics section, and guys, check this out. An Xbox 360 console for $39.98. It's got this part of the battery brick, but I think it's missing the actual part that goes out to the outlet. I wonder if I could possibly just find one here. Actually, it's right here. No, so this is complete. Wow, for 40 bucks, that's kind of debatable. Should grab this or not. Actually, let's check to see if there's a memory. Oh wow, there's a hard drive in here, and this is what looks to be official as well, but I don't know how many. Oh, it's a 250 gigabyte hard drive on this thing too. Wow, I'm really tempted to pick this up now. Before I decide, I may try plugging this in and seeing if this turns on at all. Let's do that right now, actually. Alright, got everything set up and plugged in by this wall, and let's see if it turns on, and wow, it does. The fan just started spinning. A little bit of a chip right here, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it seems okay. It's no like red rings or anything. Let's see if there's a game in here by any chance. Whoa. This Marvel's Avengers on DVD. Check that out. So cool. Alright, so thought about it, and I think I'm gonna pass up on this actually. This thing values for around 60 to 70 for the console, the cords, no controller included, and I don't think $60 is worth it for me to pick up just the flip. So we'll be leaving it here. But really cool to be able to find an Xbox 360 console at a thrift store nowadays. So, I want to see some of these games, I guess. These PlayStation 4 ones. Yeah, just yeah, that works. Okay, cool. I'll probably pass on these stuff. I guess I'll just grab these then.
Alright.
Yeah. Are these all the games you guys had for now? Okay. Back at the game showcase, we got two more sales. The first game is going to be this one right here, this Need for Speed Underground 2, missing the manual, but still sold for $19.50. And the second game is also right here, this Lost Odyssey, also missing the manual, but does contain all 4 discs. We sold this one for $24.50. And I think we got both of these for around $4 at a pawn shop. I'm going to get these 2 packaged and shipped. After eBay fees and shipping, this is how much we'll get to add back to the game fund. Of course, we had to make a visit to the PayMore store for this week. We always find such great items at these stores, and it's been hitting every single week for us. I'm gonna quickly show you guys what's in the case right now. I didn't really do too much recording or too much talking, so just gonna quickly show you guys what I did pick up. As you guys can see, there were some great Grail games on each level of the shelves, but they did not apply to the 5 for 20 deals. The first game that we had the cashier person pick out for us was Marvel's Ultimate Alliance on the original Xbox. This was a great game on this platform. And then we got Star Wars Battlefront 2, which actually does hold a little bit of value, around 15 to 20 bucks. Next, we got Guitar Hero games. We got Guitar Hero 3 along with Guitar Hero 2. And I remembered in last week's episode, I picked up a copy of World Tour, so I'm going to pair those up together. We even got a dongle in this Guitar Hero 2 case. And these dongles actually do hold a little bit of value as well, around $40. Found a SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton's Robotic Revenge game. I had never seen this before, and I just thought this was a cool one, so I decided to pick it up as well. We got Pokemon Puzzle League and also Mega Man X. These were not part of the deal, but they had them priced at around $30, and the cashier person was willing to give them to me both for $25 a piece. This was pretty much all the games that I had picked out for this stop.
You want to add this one in here? If I won't charge you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes.
We're back in the car, and that was a pretty nice stop. The employee guy was super cool. I was talking to him about video games for like the longest. He was really big into like the Fire Emblem games and was talking about the developer of those games and how he like passed away at an early age. It's kind of crazy actually. But we got some nice games. We got this Mega Man X and Pokemon Puzzle League, both for $25 a piece. He gave us a $5 discount on both of them, which is really cool. We also just grabbed a bunch of Xbox 360 games, and the employee was nice enough to throw in this Super Nintendo game as well. Love this PayMore store. They have awesome customer service here, and they always give me deals, which is great. I was out of town this week in the Eau Claire area, and every time I'm out here, I have to stop into this game store called Gaming Generations, mainly because they got this rack full of $5 and under games. Starting off in the $2 section, and I found this Double Dribble game on the NES. Perfect game, cheap game to add to our Nintendo collection. We also found some games like Prince of Persia, but didn't decide to pick these up. In the $1 row, we actually did pick up a couple of games. The first game that we decided to grab was this Borderlands, the pre-sequel. It's just so hard passing up on $1 games, and these will be great for even trading in at some point. And then down here we found an Xbox original game called Full Spectrum Warrior. I had never seen this one before, so decided to pick this one up. Also, Dead to Right is a good one. Found this copy of Borderlands 2, which is absolutely my favorite game out of that series, and it was complete. We're checking out this Nintendo shelf next, and unfortunately I just didn't really find too much or anything worth picking up to add to my collection. Even in the Switch section, they didn't really have too much. So I had to take a peek at the Wii section in case I could find anything interesting to pick up at this stop. Found this Counterforce game. They had a Bomberman and also this Centipede Infestation game. This game always looks so cool. But I did find one game that interested me. It was this Aragorn's Quest, and this was just a spin-off Lord of the Rings game. I had never played it before, but it would be great just to add to the collection for $10 as well. Taking a look at the retro Nintendo section next, and just wanted to pick up some NES and Super Nintendo games. Even if they are lower end ones, it's always great to just pick out some new games that I had never played before and just learn about them. And then I stumbled upon this Time Lord game for $8, and just by looking at the cover, it looked really interesting, so I decided to grab it. And then we're taking a peek at the Super Nintendo section next. Back here I found another game, and it's going to be this Pitfall the Mayan Adventures. I know this is a pretty common game and is a popular one, so I also decided to grab that one.
Yeah.
You have a $5 coupon. Do you want to use it?
Yeah, let's do that.
$29.51 is the total.
Okay. Yeah.
And just like that, that wraps up the game hunting for this week. We really didn't do too much game hunting, but we actually found a ton of stuff. Starting off at a St. Vincent de Paul store, and I actually find a ton of stuff at this store. I actually found 2 consoles there for this episode. First game we got is Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3. It says it's only on PlayStation, so it could be an exclusive. I always come across this game. It looks really interesting. Then we got Gran Turismo 5. This franchise has been around for so long, and they're still making a ton of great games. We got Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. I've never played this Lego Star Wars game, but apparently it's related to the Clone Wars. I'm not sure how many Clone Wars games they made. Picked up a copy of Black Ops 1, and I actually have a copy of Black Ops 2 in the collection, so could bundle it up and put it up on eBay. We got Batman Arkham City Game of the Year Edition. We got a lot of these for around $3 a piece. I don't remember there being that much DLC for this game, but apparently there are a lot of bundles and packs with this. And then lastly, we got a PlayStation 4 game for $3, the Sniper Elite 3. Never played these sniper games though. I know they made a ton of them in the series. For our next visit, we went to a PayMore store, and we've been scoring so much. These are starting to become some of my favorite stores in my area. Got a couple of Xbox games. We got SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton's Revenge. I had never seen this game before, so I figured I'd just pick it up. Apparently it's not a great game at all. It's just your usual 3D adventure. We got Ultimate Alliance on the original Xbox, and this is the game that I remember playing on this console. This is the game that really started my love for Marvel and the mashup of all the characters, the Avenger games. You got the X-Men characters in here as well. Next, we got another classic, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I actually have never played these Star Wars Battlefront games. I played a ton of Xbox original games, and that's the console I own, but I missed out on this golden era of Star Wars games. Lastly, we got Guitar Hero 2 and 3 on the Xbox 360. This is going to go great with the Guitar Hero World Tour game that I picked up last episode. Probably will bundle these up together and see how much I can get. You guys saw in the video too, what's awesome about this is inside we actually do have this Guitar Hero dongle. And apparently this one belongs to a Xbox 360 guitar. And if you know anything about dongles, these things are super expensive. Looked online, and apparently this thing values for around $30 to $40, so it'll be a great one for us to flip as well. We also ended up grabbing 2 grails at this PayMore store. We got Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo. Mega Man was such a huge franchise back in the 80s and 90s. They released a ton of games on the NES, and this was the first game that released on the Super Nintendo. And with the Super Nintendo hardware, they made these games look so much visually better. The art style is great. They redid the Mega Man character, but it keeps the same traditional 2D platformer adventure style game. These games were known for being a little faster paced, and also with the movement allowing you to dash. And lastly, we got a copy of Pokemon Puzzle League on the N64. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of these puzzle games. This is just a reskin version of Tetris Battle, and it's reskinned with the Pokemon theme where you play as Ash Ketchum and you just play other trainers and gym leaders in pursuit of their badges. And then lastly, we were out of town and had to check out the Gaming Generations store. You guys may already know I love this store simply because they have a huge clearance rack where they sell games for $5 and under. We got games like Borderlands the pre-sequel for $1. It's just so hard to pass up on dollar games. Next, I decided to grab this Full Spectrum Warrior developed by Pandemic and THQ. We also got Borderlands 2 for $1. This is definitely my favorite one in the series. We decided to grab a copy of Aragorn's Quest on the Nintendo Wii. This is just a spin-off little game from the original trilogy. It actually does take place during the same time as the original trilogy, but you just play as Aragorn, and you can play as the other characters as well as the hobbits. The graphics and art were toned down and a little more cartoonish as compared to the other Lord of the Rings games. We got a couple of cartridge games from this store as well. We picked up Double Dribble on the NES for about $2. This is just another standard basketball game on the NES. What's cool about this one is it's got some crazy dunk animations. I decided to grab this copy of Time Lord just because it looked really interesting. Apparently it is a 2D beat 'em up side scroller kind of game that revolves around time. You're in search of these time orbs, and gotta defeat aliens, I guess. Forgot to mention this one, this Williams Arcade Greatest Hits. We actually got this one at the PayMore store, and it's just a collection of some classic arcade games like the Defender games and Joust. For the last game, we just picked up a copy of Pitfall. This is like a classic game on the Super Nintendo. It's a 2D platformer style game where you got an arsenal of weapons like a whip, and you get to throw bombs. All the buttons on the controller actually have a move. And just like that, that's all the games that we picked up. Another fun week of going out and game hunting. Gonna add all these games to our collection right now. We don't have our whiteboard up right now because I am currently working on an idea of what we're gonna be looking for and searching for to conclude this entire series. So stay tuned for that. Can't wait to show you guys. That's all I pretty much got for this week though. Thank you guys all for tuning into this week's episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.